overall, I like the gameplay mechanics of Street Fighter 6. Okay, now let's talk about the netcode and the connections. Yikes. Because during my play this weekend, I experienced an entire day on Friday where I thought the connections were outstanding. I don't even think I had any issues with the connections on Friday playing with Ryu. It was like everything was fast, everything was reacting. I could do all these moves and combos that previously I wasn't able to do. I was reacting to people's drive impact. Everything was amazing. Okay? Then I went to play it yesterday, Sunday. I felt like I was playing Street Fighter 4 on the Xbox 360 some of these matches. I'm just, okay, let me dash forward. Tap, tap. Oh, wait, whoa, wait a minute. Tap, tap. Oh, now I'll move. Wait, what? How is it that delayed? This is 2022, and the delay is that bad? And I tried various different servers and the like, and I kept getting equal experience, okay? So I think what it is, it really depends on server load, and probably what happened was way less people were playing on Friday. Everyone was trying to play on Sunday because on Sunday was the last day to play the beta, so everyone was probably piling on to play it at once. In addition, there's so many other factors. My internet personally maybe was having a rough time on Sunday as opposed to Friday for some odd reason. Who knows, right? I'll tell you this, I don't think it's my joystick. How is it that I could have a great experience on Friday and a bad experience on Sunday and blame it on a joystick? I don't think so. I don't think the joystick's the issue. Now, could it be me? Abso-freaking-lutely 100%. I would tell you it's probably partially me. All right? I'm getting older. All right? When I start playing a fighting game for the first time in a while, I feel refreshed, right? I feel like I'm energized, I'm ready, I'm raring to go. That's kind of how I felt on Friday when I started playing with Ryu in the game. By the time I went to play it on Sunday, I was like, all right, let's do it. Now I've played for 2 days. Let's really get some wins. And the next thing I know, it's like, oh my God, I'm like a slug, right? I can't react. My brain, I got like brain fog. Oh man. And so it is, I'm getting older. When you get older, you get burnt out on things a lot more easily. Back in the day, I used to be able to go and play Street Fighter 5 days straight in a tournament, right? I'd travel, 2 days I'd practice, or I'd practice the day before I left. I'd travel to the venue, I'd play it for a day. I'd play a tournament for 2 days, and there'd even be a day afterward where I'd unwind and play some more. I can't do that anymore. Like I said, my hand was actually hurting me by the end of Sunday's stream with throbbing pain. Right? And I think that's what it is. I get exhausted mentally, physically, a lot easier today than I used to. And I got to accept my limitations. Like if I'm going to play fighting games, I play them for 1 or 2 days and then I got to get a rest. I can't just be like, it's Street Fighter 6 time, let's play for 3 weeks. Like, it's not going to work. There's going to be burnout. There's going to be fatigue. I'm going to start playing more poorly. You know, so there's many, many factors involved here. Could online play have been a factor? Absolutely. But I think a lot of it is me as well, being burnt out, all right? So I don't want to 100% sit here and try to scapegoat this and be like, oh, the reason why I played so well on Friday and so poorly on Sunday is simply because the online play was much worse. No, that's definitely not the only factor, okay? But it definitely could have been a factor as well. Absolutely, I saw sluggishness in a lot of the matches on Sunday. I definitively, when I'm tapping the joystick and my character's not even moving right away, I'm like, there's a problem here, okay? But I think more so than the fact that, you know, you can have lag and a different experience depending on when you're playing, the bigger issue here is crossplay. Because what's happening now is there is active efforts in the competitive fighting game community to create the best ultimate situation for playing a competitive fighting game. They want the absolute least amount of input lag and input delay from when you push a button to when something happens in the game. Then they want the absolute least amount of delay from when you do something and then it actually happens in an online setting. And what a lot of fighting gamers have now determined is that the PC version of the games are by far superior to the console versions. That if you find ways to tweak them and you run them a certain way, you can absolutely positively reduce the amount of delay that there is, to the point where some people have said playing some of these games on PC almost feels like you're sitting right next to someone playing in person. It's that much of a reduction in delay, okay? That's a great thing. Ultimately, as a competitive community, the fighting game community should be striving to find these solutions so that you have the absolute best experience, whether you're playing in person, online, or a hybrid of the both. All right? But here's the problem with this. These efforts are on PC only. Okay? Just being honest. Like, there's a big concerted effort from the fighting game community to get these games on PC and run them beautifully. And that's great. And I'm all for that. Make it so that everyone has the best experience. But you heard what I just said. Everyone has the best experience. When you're saying that PC is the only way to really create that experience, what happens is almost the equivalent of what's going on currently with competitive first-person shooters, where you have people playing crossplay. It's like, oh, how is it fair that I'm playing on my Xbox and I'm using this controller where I can't turn as fast, I can't aim as fast, I can't react as fast because I'm using a handheld controller. While someone who I'm playing crossplay is on PC and they got keyboard and mouse and they're able to flick around and instantly re-aim, people running at you, jumping, spinning in midair, and shooting you with a headshot from behind. You can't do that on console with this controller. It's just not possible. It's not an equal playing ground. So how is that fair? The same thing is now beginning to happen with games like Street Fighter, okay? Where because there's been such a research into this situation and finding ways to reduce the input lag and the like, that people are now going to get an innate advantage by playing on PC as opposed to consoles. Now, how is it? I'm playing someone cross-platform in the Street Fighter 6 beta. My character feels like a slug. Like, I can't move. I'm trying to move. I'm trying to get them to react. And everything I do is delayed. But the moment I do an action, they're instantly reacting to it and blowing me away. Right? But it was funny, if you look at the matches where I played exclusively against other Xbox players, it almost was like we were always on equal footing, and it was a fair and fun match. But with crossplay, it just wasn't. All right? And that's bad. All right? I understand crossplay is very good because it allows you to have the maximum amount of players. Therefore, it doesn't matter what version of the game you've purchased. When you go to play the game online, you'll always have competition. That's a great thing. Think about how much that would have helped a game like Capcom Fighting Collection this year that we wanted to play at length, and it's because it wasn't crossplay. The game died within 3-4 months, and now you can't find anyone besides the same 5 people. And that's only on PlayStation because no one plays it on Xbox, right? So crossplay can be a great thing as long as you have an equal playing field. Right now, it appears you don't. You just don't. Someone who has a gaming PC and has Street Fighter 6 can play it and have insanely reduced input lag. They can react to everything going on and play at a high level. And if you're playing on Xbox, it's like you're playing in molasses. You're in a tub of fucking caramel in some of these matches. Now, not every match, but I definitively noticed there was problems with that. All right? Some matches. That's bad. And especially if you're talking about ranked gameplay where people are going to be saying, oh, this matters. How could you not have an equal playing field? It's to the point where when the game comes out, I might purposefully disable crossplay and try just playing people on Xbox and see if there's a major difference, right? I would almost guarantee you there will be. If you're playing just people on your own console, you're probably all going to have that same issue, the same input delay or whatever. And now all of a sudden you're on an equal playing field and you're playing at the same level. As opposed to someone who's on a PC that, oh, watch this, react to everything, insta-cancel everything, do this, do that, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. I can't even react. Like, there was that one Jamie player who literally, it was like, mix up, high, low, now, this, that, do, that, that. I can't even control my character. I couldn't even get Ryu to get up off the ground and do a single move I wanted because I was so delayed, while this guy's doing a combo, up, down, mix up, mix up, drive impact, like, what the fuck? Obviously, all his shit's coming out. I can't get a single move. This is going to create a problem, all right? And so that's what I mean. Like, it seems to me like there is going to be a disparity with crossplay, okay? For me, will it be that much of a concern? I mean, honestly, probably not. Here's why. For me, ultimately, I'm not going to be playing these games at a high competitive level. I have no plans. I'm playing Street Fighter 6. I'm not going to be some tournament winner. You know, do I want to play the game online and learn it? Absolutely. Would I like to make some videos teaching basics and tutorials and learning the characters? Yes. Would I like to do online sets that are actually meaningful and not just me fucking around mashing buttons? Of course. I'm also going to do offline gameplay. I'm going to go through the single player mode of the game, create my own character, go through the campaign, and enjoy that content as well. But for the most part, I'm a variety content creator. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's a big deal that there's disparity in crossplay because now I can't play competitively. I mean, who cares? I have no plans to do that anyway. But I can absolutely positively tell you, from a gamer's perspective, this very well may be the first major time where this is a competitive issue. And we need to have essentially some authorities come in and be like, so here's the deal. Here's how it's going to go. This is going to be the competitive version of the game. This is how it's going to be played. Here's the ground rules. And once the ground rules are established, now people can say, okay, so I'm going to play this version with these criteria, and that's what I have to be good at. Not one person plays on one console in one version, one person plays on another, venue with a different version. But by the way, we're all playing together, and now one person has insane advantages over the others. Okay? So it's a problem. And I'm just wondering how it's going to be addressed by Capcom in general. Or will they just ignore it and let the community try to figure it out? I am all for having maximum reduction in input lag and delay. Let it be the best optimized experience, but it should be for everyone. It shouldn't be, because I could afford a gaming PC and I could sit there and tweak the shit out of it. Now I can play the game and kick everyone's ass, but everyone else is left in the dust who's just playing the base version on a console. You guys got fucked. That's not fair. All right? Just speaking from the heart, back in the day, Street Fighter 4 was an online mess. It was terrible online, okay? But everyone had the same exact experience of having that lag and having that, and you had to learn and you had to adapt. Today, having people who have an innate advantage just because they can afford a gaming PC, that's bullshit. That's not fair. There shouldn't be a big it should be, if I buy the Series S, if I buy the Series X, if I buy the PS5, and if I have a PC, we can all play together on the same equal playing field. Not, this person has an insane advantage over this person has an advantage over this. That's bullshit. And this shouldn't happen. But right now, I feel like this is these are formative years of gaming right now where these things are becoming an issue. The very frame rate you're playing at can change the way that you can be competitive at a game. And that's a concern. Certain console can only play at 60. Another can play at 120 hertz. Another can play at 240 hertz. That could change things, So, all that being said, that's something I definitively noticed. How is it that when I'm playing crossplay, a lot of my opponents just seem to be miraculously reacting to everything instantly, but I feel like I'm playing slow-mo and molasses, And that's not every match. That's just a general observation I had, okay?